Hello and welcome to today's interview. I'm Kyriakopoulou and today we're talking Italy with Danae from the Centre of Economics and Business Research. The Italian economy is certainly struggling more than expected, with unemployment in Italy reaching a record high of 13.6% in the first quarter of 2014, which is up 0.8% on the same period last year. Italy assumes the rotating presidency of the European Union in July and has long sought to shift the policy debate in Europe away from the budget rigor and towards measures to boost the economic growth and create jobs. Now, hello, Danae. Thank you for joining me. As we can see, the Italian economy has certainly got its fair share of problems. The unemployment figures yesterday, although better than the first few months of this year, are still very high. Are we likely to see any improvement over the next few months within Italy? And why is their economy so disappointing at the moment? And with them taking over the presidency of the EU, will that have any impact, do you think?
Italian economic data for this year thus far have indeed been quite disappointing, but not exceptionally so compared to the rest of the Eurozone. The unemployment rate, while still above the Eurozone average, is below that seen in other southern economies such as Greece, Spain and Portugal. We do expect to see an improvement over the next few months, however. May's European election results were surprisingly calm for Italy, with the ruling party of Matteo Renzi getting a huge endorsement from the electorate. This should calm fears over a deterioration in the political climate and reduce uncertainty among businesses and consumers alike. In turn, this should lead to higher levels of business investment and consumer spending, and hence to a pickup in economic activity. Monetary easing from the European Central Bank, which we expect to happen on Thursday at the ECB's monthly meeting, should also support growth.
Italy, as the Eurozone's third largest economy, still has youth unemployment of more than 43%, the highest it's been since 1977. How much effect does this have on the European Union overall?
I would go as far as calling this painfully high level of youth unemployment as Europe's biggest problem. Prolonged joblessness, especially among the youth, risks skills decaying and makes the return to the labor force more difficult, something that we economists call hysteresis. For young people, the experience gained through a job is much more valuable than the wage that it provides. And therefore, even if there is a social welfare network that includes unemployment benefits to financially cover for the needs of this unemployed youth, the very fact that they are not getting the experience is what matters the most. And this is a big contrast with the older unemployed workers who care more about the lack of wages than the lack of experience. If you're 45, you will care most about not having the wage to provide for your family. But at 25, the wage is not as much of an issue as the fact that later on you will have no real work experience to help you find a job that fulfills your ambitions, perhaps when the economy picks up later on.
Italy already includes much of its grey economy in its GDP figures. To what extent can this be a reflection of the state of their economy? And what does it really say about their economy?
Yes, the measurement of gross domestic product has traditionally been a major area for what you call creative accounting. Italy was actually one of the first economies to incorporate this untaxed shadow economy to its GDP measure in 1987. This is still remembered as the Il Sorpasso event because it added 18% to Italian GDP and allowed it to overtake the UK as the world's fifth largest economy, only to fall behind again a few years later. But since then, Italy already now includes much of its shadow economy in the measurement of GDP. So further scheduled additions will not really have as big an effect to actually raising the level of GDP. According to Eurostat estimates, adding things like drugs, prostitution, and other black market activities will only add about 2% to GDP. But this will have a notable effect in helping bring the budget deficit below the 3% of GDP threshold, which is required for Eurozone members according to the Stability and Growth Pact. And it should also help reduce Italy's debt to GDP ratio, which currently stands at over 130%, according to the latest figures from 2013.
Moving forward, we can see that other countries will also be required to disclose their grey economies. Is this, in your opinion, the way to go?
It would certainly help make data across countries more directly comparable. And it would also help the debt-ridden economies of the Mediterranean, like Italy, bring down their debt-to-GDP ratios. But it will not really have a real effect on raising living standards for European households, and would also have little effect on our forecasts for real GDP growth rates in Europe.
And finally, what does the future hold for Italy? Where can they improve, and what are their weaknesses?
At Cebr, we expect the Italian economy to expand by 0.5% in 2014. This will mark a return to growth after 3 years of contraction. However, this will be too weak to heal the deep scars of the recession, and it will leave GDP below its pre-crisis level. Further ahead, we see growth constrained by Italy's high debt burden, political fragility, and high unemployment. We expect Italy to grow slower than the Eurozone on average in the medium term, and we see the economy expanding by an average of 1% a year between 2015 and 2019. As for their weaknesses, I'd say that it's mostly down to politics. While Mr. Renzi has brought a much-needed sense of urgency to the Italian political stage, his efforts may be constrained in the environment of a problematic coalition that has so far found it difficult to push through the reforms agenda.
Thank you once again, Danae, for taking the time to talk to us. Until next time, it's goodbye from me.